Hey guys, so it's not a secret that I have not been a fan of BetterHelp since its inception, and as it has uh, through the years been promoted on YouTube as a sponsorship. 5 years ago, I had an email correspondence with the co-founder of BetterHelp, Alon Matas, and I made this public where I was explaining to him how if you have a client of your therapy service and you're also making that client into a sponsorship role, then you have therapy being done with the client and then you have a business relationship with the client. That is an unethical dual relationship, right? And at a certain point, Alon Matas just stopped talking to me because he probably realized the legal ramifications of what I was saying, right? And then that type of sponsorship kind of dwindled off, and you just saw everybody who was talking about anything mental health related just throwing in a BetterHelp sponsorship and not so much saying, yeah, I'm not just uh, plugging the hair club for men, I'm a member too, uh, which that is the unethical type of sponsorship that I was talking to Alon Matas about. Links in the description box if you want to recap on that. But I will say that I saw their ads get better as far as not being as unethical in the last 3 years. And I also saw anecdotal reports of their payouts to therapists being a little bit better. Still, I would never work for peanuts. I worked hard to get to where I am as a professional. I would never work for that company for the small amount of pay that they're offering. I believe that a therapist with a master's degree or a PhD and a license to practice deserves to be able to live in the city where he practices and shouldn't have to live in the absolute poorest town in the entire state in order to be able to afford to live off of what he would make off of BetterHelp. So uh, when you divide up, the pay for hours, still not my cup of tea, right? Uh, some people believe in accessibility to the whole community because that's their prerogative, but I believe that you can't do care for other people unless you're taking care of yourself. So you have to be able to live, and BetterHelp does not pay living wages. That being said, they're doing better than I knew of them 5 years ago. Right? They're increasingly better until this week. This just gave me the icks. Right? I cannot even. So a very bad tragedy happened in Israel where they were attacked by Hamas, and this was the largest loss of life in an act of war that has happened to Jewish people since the Holocaust, right? And so, in the wake of it, almost immediately, we see the official Twitter of Israel posting, uh, you know, here's a nice promo offer from BetterHelp, a therapy company, which is going to provide 6 months of free therapy to those affected by the war in Israel, right? And maybe some of you can't put your finger on what's wrong with this, but part of your feeling might be that the bodies aren't even cold yet. That was 2 days ago that just almost immediately thereafter, after this tragedy, BetterHelp's like, oh, we'll give you, a free loss leader of 6 months of care, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But wait, it gets worse. Okay, so BetterHelp was started by two Israelis, right? And so I understand that they are, you know, feeling compassionate towards the Israeli plight in all of this, but in the days since, the retaliation from Israel onto the Gaza Strip has killed more people than were killed in the initial attack. Right? They're not uh, they're not offering the same services to people in Gaza, the Palestinians. Few reasons why. Number one, they are sympathetic to Israel because they were founded by Israelis. Number two, uh, the people of Gaza don't have access to the internet because Israel has them cut off from the rest of the world. They're basically. It's been said that they're in an open air prison. Uh, they sometimes don't even have electricity. They don't have running water. They get water delivered. So it's a very bad place for people to be living. But there's a couple million of them, right? So uh, yeah, they're not offering these services to other people that are uh, being affected by this tragedy because there are people suffering on both sides. Now, granted, that they've got their political leanings, but the people who are currently getting services from BetterHelp don't necessarily have those same political leanings. And you know, it's the responsibility of giant companies that offer therapy to stay neutral as possible so that us therapists that might work for these large companies can do our jobs without coming to work to say our Palestinian client who's a refugee, and then hearing from them, hey, I heard the company that you work for is supporting Israel. You know, damn. You know, no other therapy company in the world is taking political stances like this. So, yeah, it feels icky. It's definitely very soon, right after the attacks. Um, and here's the kicker. I know that with my licensed practice that I cannot practice outside the jurisdiction where I'm licensed for. So I can't take on an Israeli client, right? Now, they might have within BetterHelp uh, some people in network who've agreed to like provide emergency crisis situation services where things have been waived and across country lines you're going to practice telehealth medicine. But let's take all of the therapists that BetterHelp has in America and just ballpark in your head, figure out for yourself how many of them speak Hebrew, right? So, what does this offer actually entail? If BetterHelp's entire workforce doesn't really connect with the people that they're offering services to, right? What does it mean that they're offering 6 months of therapy for free if they don't even have people that can talk to the people? Or maybe there's a couple people who do speak Hebrew and they're just pulling double duty right now to handle this overflow of what therapists in Israel are probably having to deal with right now. And I imagine just like 9/11 or COVID even in America, uh, they're having a lot of spike in demand for therapy. But nobody in Israel is actually hurting for access to therapy as far as being able to pay for it, as far as like needing 6 months free. Because you know what Israel has that America doesn't? Universal health care. So, like, what does it mean that they're offering 6 months of it for free? They always get therapy for free. um, wow. Yeah, all sorts of weirdness that I get as a vibe from this sponsorship. It's really not helping my my stance on BetterHelp in general that they're doing this. Mind you, find any other therapy company that's willing to take a political stance like this and say, we're going to also offer these services. You won't find one. You know, this is definitely a line in the sand that they're willing to cross, and they've proven in the past that they're willing to do slightly unethical things if they're only going to be paying a very small price for it in the end. And so, just like recently the FTC fining them for selling patients' data, I think they're willing to branch out from the box of say being ethical in your practices and try to push the envelope a little bit. And that's why I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all.